Nigga daddy bitch you like 16 dollars already.
Like 99 minutes. Squad got 99 niggas. 99 niggas. They all want a nigga to stop. Cause I rap flicking up and flip the ring. Hope you give us a fight. I'm just a player. That's kind of with the coaches, you know. So I'm around longer than the Oprah show. Man, y'all post, you know. That all it takes is a finger. That's how you where the coaches go. Shit, I hate it since the 5th grade. That's why my best friends is straight down. The ice pick and the switchblade. I don't like you don't like me.